Look at that. Hey everybody, we got a neat new product here that we're going to be reviewing. A company called Seesii. Just now realizing it doesn't say Seesii anywhere, wow, on the box. But this company named Seesii, I probably have it on the screen, has asked us to demonstrate they're calling it a foam cutter, electric cordless foam cutter. But right there on the box, of course, it says hot knife. And what it is it's basically kind of a really big soldering iron type thing, but it heats up the blade to be able to cut styrofoam better. Over here on the side of the box, it's saying no more mess. I think that they're referring to if you were to try to saw styrofoam, you would get styrofoam dust and pellets all over the place. But this would cut clean through it, like literally like a hot knife through butter, like they say. Anyway, we're going to open this up and take a look at how it is packed, and then pull it all out of the box and see what we can do with it. Okay, here's what we got. The instruction manual is right there on the top, and we'll take that out, and then we are left with clearly the actual hot knife, and these are probably batteries in these boxes. Is 21 volt, and so it will come with two, I think it says 220, either that or one of them is a charger. We're gonna find out. But this is how it comes packed. You have the knife itself, and you've got the blade in there. And then I'm not sure what that big thing is. Oh, I see. That is a wire brush for cleaning. Oh yeah, I've used hot knives before, and what happens is the residue gets all over the blade, and you have to clean it off, otherwise it builds up so much that it doesn't work anymore. I'll explain some other options, but that's a good idea to use a wire brush. We're going to find out. Oh, so the Allen wrench. This is a hex head wrench. Must be for attaching the blade. We're going to find out. And then there is the spare blade. And not the spare blade, but the alternate blade. Two alternate blades. And we're going to read the instructions before we even get started so that we're calling these the right things. Anyway, that's what's in the box. I'll get everything out of their wrappers and boxes, and we'll see exactly what we have. Okay, so this is what we've got. You observant people probably noticed that when I was unpacking it, the charger was sitting right there with the actual main unit, and so the individual boxes did not contain a charger and a battery. It was two batteries. So you do have two batteries here. Now these batteries, usually they have these indicators on the side that let you know how much charge they have, and they ship with usually 3 bars. Both of them did, so you can get started right away, but they're not fully charged. So, which is good. That means that we can do our review. And that's what we have there. So 2 batteries, 1 charger, and your Allen wrench, your adjustment tool. And that is for attaching the blade to the machine. That's what's going to undo these nuts here. And then you slide the knife straight into there. Speaking of which, here they are. I didn't realize that there are 2 of them in that long tube. So you have a spare main blade, 150 millimeter blade. And then we actually have, I looked in the instructions, we have names for the other ones. The other blades, one is called the arc-shaped knife, and the other is called the shovel knife. It's easy to tell which is which. I think that, so the arc-shaped knife is for cutting things like nylon rope, and we have some, and we're going to do that. And I wasn't ready for this one. The shovel knife is probably for removing decals and stickers and whatever else that you have on something that you have to heat up to get off. And I'm going to scramble around and try to find something because I wasn't ready for that. But what we do have is a whole bunch of styrofoam and foam type stuff, vinyl. We do have some rope. nylon rope. And we have some thicker nylon rope and some straps like seatbelt material, and regular styrofoam and some thicker styrofoam. And we're gonna run the gamut and try quite a few different things and see how well it works. So I'm gonna put a battery in it, and of course we're gonna start with regular old styrofoam, and let's see how it works. Okay, so installing the knife blade is really straightforward. Here's a close-up of the actual attachment point. You can see that there is a little bit of an opening there at the edge. The inner edge is there, right there, and right there. That is where you slide in the blade. And then you use the hex tool that you had to tighten down these bolts. And that holds the blade in. And then you're ready to go. Just make sure that it's in there nice and snug, and that is making your heat contact so that you can heat up the blade. And I think you get the idea. It's not rocket science. And of course the other blades would attach the same way, so I'm not going to go so far as to explain each blade as I'm installing them. That's the way they're going to install. For example, the what is called arc-shaped blade will attach the same way. Okay, and moving on. Okay, so here we go. We've got the blade attached and we have the battery in, and we're ready to turn this on for the first time. So the instructions was explaining that it is a toggle switch. So basically you don't have to hold the trigger down, which I've had a number of these things, and you always have to hold the trigger down and it gets really tiring. But it is a toggle. It's click to, press to be on and press to be off. So that's how that works. And then on the back here, you can see, let me get up close. You have a adjustment tool. Now this is your temperature setting, and we don't have actual values. So basically if it's cutting if it's too hot, it's not going to make a clean cut in some materials, and in other materials you want it to be hotter. So you're going to be adjusting that constantly according to what it is that you're doing. And I think I have it all the way up. I think it's going to be all the way up just for demonstration purposes, and we'll find out. So at this point, we will back up, and we'll back farther up, and we will turn this on for the first time. So here we go. The fan comes on, and it will regulate the temperature on its own. So I'm guessing that once it gets up to temperature, and it says it's only going to take, what was it, 8 to 15 seconds? Okay, so I don't know if it's ready or not, but we're going to find out. We've got a plate, and we've got a hot knife. Let's see. Oh yeah. Just sails right through. Look at that. Now that's satisfying. Let me get a little closer so we can kind of a warped image. Okay, here we go. Wow, that is nice. And again, I gotta mention, I'm not holding the trigger, it's regulating itself. Let's listen to that. Doing kind of a higher pitch. I don't know what that means. But I have to imagine that it's doing what it thinks it wants to do. And that's good enough for me. Now the blade does have an actual sharpened edge to it, so it's not like you can use the other side. You have to use the actual knife part. It's really fast. It's the type of thing that you would not get tired doing. Look at this. Oh yeah, that's good stuff right there. Look at this. Super clean. And I have the temperature up all the way, and so far it was warning you about having it up too hot would give you uneven cuts or something like that, but that's not what I'm saying. This is pure happiness right here. That's a kick. All right, and of course I'm wearing a glove. I need to have gloves on both hands. The instruction was really adamant on that, and from past usage on hot knives, I can verify these things are hot. So let's get something else. Let's go get a thicker piece of styrofoam and keep going. Okay, here we go. So what we have now is, oh, I don't know, it's about 15 inches by about 2 feet by about, I'd say, an inch thick. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start up the gun again. I'm calling it a gun. It is a hot knife. And so we're going to click it. It's getting started. My guess is that it is going to be ready by the time I get over there. And we are going to give this a try. Wow, whoops. And here I am going backwards just like I said not to. It's just magic. Let's do long cut. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, let's do this. Whoop. Look at that. This is hours of entertainment for sure. Oh my goodness. Let's get the thicker piece of styrofoam and do this. I just want, oh, I forgot to demonstrate the shutdown. So you click it again and listen. It's off. Nice. Okay, so this piece is quite a bit thicker, and it's not necessarily the entire thickness of the gun, but we have some sections that would tell you whether or not it's going to be able to do something like that without question. And so let's turn the gun back on, and off we go. Just gonna like lop a side off of this, see what happens. Go around this way. Wow, look at that. I'm gonna bring you over there, show you what that just did. Look at this. Look at that cut it just made. Nice and straight. Well, as straight as I was able to do it. Outstanding. Let's keep on playing. Turn the gun back on. Wow. I could do this all day. Six. I mean, wow. Look at this. Look at that. That is big time fun. Anyway, we can't just keep on cutting styrofoam all night. Let me turn this off. And we will move on to something else. You know what we're gonna do is we're gonna demonstrate the cushion foam. Let's move to that next. Okay, so what you're looking at now, this is the foam cushion from the inside of like patio furniture, outdoor patio furniture, and this is about 2 inches thick, and it's literally like seating material. And there are plenty of times when you might need to cut this. I don't know if it's going to do this. It's not styrofoam, of course, but this is just a test. I'm gonna turn it on. Give it its, I mean, this thing heats up fast. I don't know how long it's going to take, but let's see if it's going to cut this stuff. It's going slow. Of course, I just turned it on. Yeah, as it gets hotter, it's going faster. Yeah, it's doing it. So, it seems to have kind of melted itself back on there. So something like this, I think that maybe you should be kind of holding it as you go. Maybe. And then it will work. Sort of, I guess. Let's try this again. This is why you wear gloves. And there you go. Yeah, that works. Of course, it is stuck to my finger now. This is why you wear gloves. All right, moving on to the next thing. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to mention. As you can see here, we're getting a buildup of styrofoam on the blade here. And this is why they were talking about using something like steel wool or the wire brush that came with it. And they were saying to heat it up and then use the brush or use the steel wool. But something that I have discovered over the years is that what works even better than that is a wadded up paper towel. So you turn it on, you get it hot. I'm guessing this thing heats up. We're about to find out because it cooled down completely. As you can see, the plastic solidified. And then once it gets hot, you just simply wipe it on the, we're not there yet. You wipe it on the paper towel and then just throw it away. Because what's going to happen if you use steel wool or even the wire mesh, you're going to get it all over the wire mesh and make eventually clog it completely up. So let's see what we got here. Of course, plastic is melting at way lower than the ignition point of paper. And so there you go, nice clean blade. And that's that. It's just a little tip that I've picked up over the years with these things. So let's move on to cut some nylon rope. Okay, so as you can see here, what I've got is some nylon rope. This is starter rope for weed eaters and stuff like that. And of course, anybody that knows anything knows that you can just cut it. But see what happens when you just cut it with scissors or something is that you get the frayed ends there. But I'm about to show you what's really neat about hot knives. So let me turn this back on, get it up to temperature. As you can see, I put the arc-shaped blade on there, and I believe that is for cutting rope and other things. And you probably noticed that there's a piece of glass there now, and that's because to cut something like that, and we're going to cut just straight across it, you need an extremely flat surface, but you need a flat surface that can handle the heat, and that's glass. So here we go. It is up to temperature, and let's see if we can make a nice cut. Curiously, it's not doing it. So what did we do? Oh, I see what's happening. So all this testing I had a feeling. So this machine really, really uses up a lot of battery. All that fun we were having used up a battery. So we got to change batteries. That's the problem. Okay, so I have replaced the battery, as you can see here. Now we've got some power, although not only the power that it shipped with. And so now, when we turn it on, it should heat up nice and fast. And we can try this again with actual electricity. We'll just give it a moment. We'll get ready. And we'll see what it's gonna do. That's more like it. Look at that. Just completely effortless and clean. I'll put it on the close-up so that we can see. Super clean cut. Nice. And then I think it actually still has enough residual heat to do another. No, it cools down really fast. Let's turn it back on. And you can just kind of rock it. There you go. Again, this could be hours of entertainment. But, you know what? I've got a thicker rope. So let's go do that. Okay, so now what we have, it's more nylon rope, but it's more like a 1/2 inch. We're gonna turn this on to get it up to heat because I think we're gonna need a good amount of heat. And as you can see, the last time it was cut, it's all frayed and starting to come undone. But when you see, that's the idea of sealing the end like that, it won't actually come undone. So we are going to pull this. I think I want to get on both sides of it. And we will just try to cut across. It doesn't like it, but it did it. I think it was because it wasn't up to temperature. Let me get closer and show you exactly what's happening there. Trying to go quickly now because I know how long the battery lasts now. So let's get nice and up close. There you go, and a nice sealed end that isn't gonna fray. And a piece there that I'm gonna try not to. There we go. Look at that. Oh wow. The possibilities, this is amazing. Now I just wanna cut one, let me turn it off to save the battery. I just wanna cut one more thing. It's kind of like a strap material, like a seatbelt, because it is made out of the same stuff. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there we go. You can see exactly what we have there and how big it is. It's about, oh, I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeters thick. And I believe it's polyester or vinyl or something like that. We'll turn on the gun, get it up to heat. And then about 1.5 inches across. And so we're gonna wait for this to get warm, which should be right about now. And we're gonna do this the same way. See what we get. Straight through it, just nice. Hope I went too fast. There we go. Nice square there. Great. Okay, everything has been working. Turn it off to save your battery. Okay, the only last thing, I got to try to find something that's got a label on it to try to scrape up that label with that, what was it called? Shovel attachment? Let's see what we can do. Okay, so this is the only thing I could think of because everything's plastic these days. There's labels on things, but the things are plastic, and so if you try to scrape something off, you're going to melt right through the subject. But this is a lawnmower and it's metal, so it can handle the heat. As you can see here, the sticker isn't coming off just like it is, so I think that once you turn it on, let it get hot. I'm going to let it get really hot, and we're going to see if it takes this label off, because I have no idea what this label even is. So, just give it a moment. Set it on there. Yeah, look at that. Interesting. Of course, this is also a painted surface. So this was a terrible idea. I can see it bubbling and stuff. And that's what you get. Coming right off. It's not doing it neatly, but it is doing it. Interesting. So it is what it is. It'd probably be better if you weren't doing this on a painted surface. Yeah, I'm taking paint off. So I'm gonna stop right here. That was my demonstration of the, I think they called it a shovel attachment, and that's what it does. Okay, so as a kind of a grand finale, as you can see here, this is a big tube. This is some kind of drain tube. I think it goes on the end of a downspout. It's outdoor, thick like HDPE plastic, and it's just a test to see what it's gonna do, because it's like almost the full thickness of the blade, and we're just gonna see if it can go through it and how cleanly it goes through it or doesn't go through it. So turning it on, and I have I've had it up on full power for all of these tests. I don't personally, not yet, I haven't found a reason to turn it down. We're going to make sure that it gets up nice and hot for this one. And here we go. Not quite hot enough yet. Let's let it get completely up to temperature. Which really should only take maybe 15 seconds. As you can see there, it's smoking. It's a good indicator. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's doing it. Look at that. Same sort of thing. I think that if you don't hold it with the other hand, that it's going to melt itself back on. So you gotta hold it and separate it, and there you go, it did it. Wow. That is awesome. Let me get closer to that so that you can see the cut. Really no problem, nice and fast. So there's a lot of possibilities. Look at all the fun I've had. I'm going to pan back. As you can see, this has been probably the most fun I've had on a review video ever. This is a great thing. Let me take a shot of this on the ground. Okay. So there we have it. It doesn't have the name on it. There it is. Okay. Seesii. Foam cutter, hot knife. Very good. It uses up its batteries very fast, so make sure that you have them completely charged up before you do a review video, or for whatever project that you're going to be using it for. Definitely beats cutting foam with a saw, and this is the best hot knife I've ever used. This has been really, really impressive. So, I mean, you can get this. I have a few Seesii products, and the batteries usually last quite a bit longer than that. Basically, that's just meaning that this is taking a lot more power than the average tool. So if you happen to have other Seesii products, you can interchange the 21-volt batteries, and if you have 4 or 6 of them like I do, you're good to go for a while. Otherwise, you got to pace yourself. Make sure you turn the gun off every time you don't need it so that you can conserve power. But that wraps it up. There will definitely be description in the the link in the description to go buy it from the Amazon link or the website. I'm not sure what they're going to want. And then also the top 10 comment to go check it out. It's definitely a very, very good product, and I recommend it to everybody. This is like for crafts and things like that, or even in the garage. You can, something like this is not really craft. This is more handyman type stuff. It's going through thick plastic. It makes me wonder how thick of plastic it can get through. But that won't be in this video. That wraps it up. I appreciate you all watching, and stay tuned for more. Who knows what I'm going to do. All right. Have a good one.